Hello all, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name as always is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the lovely Ms. Jo Fallak.
Hello. Hi.
The incomparable Mr. Rob Deobald.
Hey, how you doing?
The cute and cuddly Mr. Justin Thomas James.
I just joined the dice stream.
And we are here with Apocalypse World Session 5. That's right. We have spent the last 5 weeks streaming games in the system Apocalypse World. It has been a wild, crazy ride full of guts, guns, glory, and blood. And we are here with Session 5 in what happened to be quite the cliffhanger last episode. So if you have not watched last episode, you should go check it out, because it won't really make much sense context-wise if you start with us. Welcome! We are the INVICTUS stream. We stream every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. If this is your first time watching us, cool. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. If you're watching this on Mixer or Periscope or whatever the hell else is out there, do whatever is comparable for liking their streams. I think Twitch is a dick. Dick it up or dick it down. They have a
Don't dick it down.
Dick down if you need to dick down.
Dick.
I think Mixer is a paddle. Paddle up.
Dick.
Periscope is a
Follow your heart.
Follow your heart.
That's a thing.
yeah. Heart it up, heart it down. Dick it up. This is, of course, an 18-plus show. If you're not okay with that, go fuck yourself. If you are part of the Facebook group, then you are already the best people we know. But if you're not part of the Facebook group, go to the Facebook group, join, we'll approve you. That's where everyone hangs out, talks, shares ideas and stories and things like that. One of the things that you will get when you are part of the Facebook group is you'll get a chance to win MVP, Most Valuable Post. That's the post of the week that we distinguish amongst the rest. We say, hey, you done good. We're going to say your name on air, and you're going to get a high five mentally from us. So this week, though, it's a little different. I would like to award MVP this week to Mr. Shannon Howe.
Yeah.
Why, you might ask? Well, Mr. Shannon Howe is currently doing a fundraiser for St. Baldrick's Foundation, Conquer Childhood Cancers, and he is trying to raise money to his goal when he succeeds, he's going to shave his head.
His head or his beard?
I don't know, actually. I didn't
Is it
check.
his head? I think it might be.
I think
his
it might
head.
be
Hair on his head, whether it's
Should I
the
go
chin
this way,
or the
guys?
scalp.
Yeah, that way. He's going to shave something. We have linked the link in the description of this video. So if you'd like to support Shannon, it would mean a lot to us, it would mean a lot to Shannon, and it would mean a lot to children. So please go ahead and support him. He is only $4 away from his goal. That is not difficult at all. Please go give him some support. And additionally, for doing something that is above himself, we are going to award him with MVP this week. Well done, Shannon. We love stuff like this. In that same vein, I should say that November 2nd, we are participating once again for the 3rd year in a row in Extra Life 2019.
Harlan's sick today.
I'm sick.
Just a little bit.
groggy. That's right.
sorry, I have
We're
a
going to be
cold.
streaming for 24 hours on November 2nd. Video games, and then we're going to end the night with a big party as we always do. It's going to be a great old time. I don't know what we're going to play yet, but it's going to be really, really fun. Please consider supporting us. Our Extra Life donation page is really tough to find because I haven't linked it anywhere. I've been out of it a little bit, but it is on the Facebook group.
If you can find it, you will have the privilege of donating.
Being the first donation. I have not done very well this year in promoting it, which is okay, because you know what? Regardless, I'm going to be streaming for 24 hours, and we raised $5,000 the first year. We raised $1,000 last year, and it's interesting how much promotion really does make a difference on this type of thing. So we have raised so much money so far, and we're going to continue doing it for the foreseeable future. So I've dropped the ball this year. Next year, though, I will be right on it, I promise. And hopefully we can make a lot of money. But again, this year would be a great time to donate. So please consider doing that too.
There is still time. I'm
There is
sure
still
we'll share
time.
the link around in the next month or so.
If you look hard enough, we've hidden some clues on our Facebook page. Put it together, and you'll be able to. You're halfway there.
I think
You'll get a chance to be the MVP next time if you put all the clues together.
I think this year is going to be the year where we get donations during the 24 hours, not before. So
we
this
got
year
donations last year or
we
2
did,
years ago.
but
During
it's going to be the majority during the
Okay.
24 hours, and I'm gonna offer some really tantalizing things like
Like what?
nude pictures
Don't
of
do
myself,
that.
and And Justin.
That's a choice.
Well, and together.
Just me physically. You get me
You just
as
get
a
Justin.
person.
He'll mail you
No,
Justin's
I get Justin.
fingernail clipping.
Oh, well,
You
for
get
ransom.
me.
I
Oh,
get
okay.
you if I win. Anyway, Extra Life, we're doing this year, November 2nd. Regardless of whether or not you can or want to donate, please consider it. But join me on the 2nd. Joe will be there. Rob, Justin will be there, especially at the end. I think we're going to do Hot Ones again. I'm excited to see how Rob does. I'm excited to see if Joe can make it to the end.
I'm gonna.
Well, you said that last year.
Last
Hot
year I
Ones,
was a
you
baby.
You always get to 8.
Pickle spears? What was it last year? It was
I
pickle
did
spears.
It was-
the
pickle
first
No,
spears,
shrimp.
then I did coconut shrimp.
Yeah.
And now I'm eating humane meat, so I'm going to be able to get my own chicken wings. And I'm
Maybe that's the
actually
thing.
vegan
Maybe
this
it's the
year.
chicken wings are the
They're an ideal conduit for the hot sauce.
conduit. So yeah.
Nice glasses, Rob. You got new glasses, didn't you?
You
I
did.
did get new glasses. Yeah, these are new.
They're
them a
really
lot,
gorgeous.
I just
And
wanna
just
zoom in on
because
your picture.
the experience of getting these glasses was super interesting, they cut the lenses in like 10 minutes while I was standing there, popped them in the frames. You get all the like Lego piece frames. It's all recycled plastic. It was a super cool experience of getting glasses for like no fuss and $50 for
Wow.
prescription glasses.
Where?
They're Dresden Vision. There's a couple places in Toronto and one place
Dresden
in Hamilton
Vision.
or something.
That's right. Dresden Vision. Go to
They're not
Dresden
paying
Vision
us. I
today
just got
for
full
your
glasses
free.
for
I like
real
them.
cheap. Yeah.
I need a new
They're-
set. I'm
Maybe they'll
not wearing
promote.
glasses tonight.
Maybe they'll give us money to mention Dresden Vision.
Hashtag Dresden Vision.
Hashtag
I'm sure
Dre-
Yeah.
Dresden
Oh, wow.
Apocalypse World Vision. Finally, and perhaps most importantly for our personal
Everyone,
lives.
listen to this right now. Listen up right now. Okay, go.
Perhaps most importantly, let's just see how long it can pause.
Oh, I'm dying.
Perhaps most importantly, we have been working on a new project. As you know, probably because you support us on Patreon, we have had funds. It has allowed us to do a variety of things. It allowed us this year to go to Gen Con and meet some of you beautiful people. It allowed us to go to Queen City Conquest and meet some of you beautiful people. The people who support us on Patreon have been so amazing because they have given us opportunity to do so many things more with this stream. And one of the things that we have been working hard on is a brand new podcast. We've sort of mentioned it in a few different ways. We've mentioned the name a few different times, but now we are comfortable enough to officially announce that we are releasing a brand new podcast called Dice Shame, which is something that you can see right here. This is our little Dice Shame jar. You'll notice there's a die in there. You will find out why.
Oh, why?
When you listen to the podcast, which is going to be releasing October 31st.
That's right.
We are
At what
go-
time?
1:20 a.m.
That's right.
Eastern Standard Time for the 1 and the 20 of the die.
Every Thursday, starting Halloween.
Every
at 1:20
Thursday,
a.m.
every week starting October 31st, we are going to be releasing a new episode. What is this? Well, you're going to find out, but I will tell you, it is an actual play of Storm King's Thunder, the published module by Wizards of the Coast. It is starring yours truly, Justin Thomas James, Rob Diobald, and
That's me.
returning Mr. Alex Guthrie is also playing Doran the Mountain Dwarf.
Flora? Okay.
And of course, Joe is
I was
running
going
the
to say,
game.
I'm not in it.
Well, you're the piece de la resistance, our wonderful game master, and we are doing this new venture, this new podcast, amongst others that exist, obviously, but we're doing it in the Invictus way, with a bit of humor, a bit of levity, and some good old-fashioned dice shaming.
It sounds really, really good. I'm really excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are interested in that, you're in for a treat. If you're not, you should check it out at the very least, because I think it's going to be very fun. You can follow us today on Instagram, Twitter, as well as our new Facebook group, Dice Shame. It has the Invictus logo, so you'll know you're in the vicinity. At Dice Shame on Twitter, at Dice Shame on Instagram.
I made a new Instagram account just for Dice Shame.
I did too. You
'Cause
can follow me. Oh,
My
sorry.
old Instagram account is not public, but I have a
Yeah.
new public account Joe Fallak. That's my Dice Shame Instagram account.
That's right. And if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I'm at the Harlan Guthrie because Harlan Guthrie was taken. And that's not. I don't have any pictures.
That was me. Sorry about that.
I knew it.
I have some agendas.
You got some issues.
And I totally. I mean, obviously, I wanted to be able to post on Instagram without worrying about people seeing pictures of my son and stuff like that. We have. There's a now public one. But anyway, Dice Shame. You should go check it out right now. There's a few promo shots on our Instagram and a few cryptic tweets on our Twitter. A lot of information is going to be coming very soon. October 31st, 1:20 a.m. Mark it in your calendars. We're excited. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm stoked.
I'm super stoked. I got to hear a little bit of the preview composed music just for the podcast today. Incredible. I've heard a couple of the previews for all the episodes that we've recorded so far. They're so cool. I can't wait for everybody to listen to it and hear what they say. It's going to be good.
And obviously our Patreon donors, our patrons, the wonderful people who we owe a lot to. You're going to get the first peek and some behind the scenes stuff. Harlan has been busy editing some of the episodes we've already put together. A lot gets left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, if you are a Patreon supporter, you are going to get a look into a bit of the background of the characters that we are going to be playing before the podcast comes out. So within the next few weeks, if you back us for the 10 or higher tier, you're going to get about, I think it's like half an hour audio.
Of the boys just talking about their backstories.
Of how the characters interact and how they know each other and what they look like. And it's really, really cool.
That's good.
And we already have 2 new follows on Instagram. My phone's
Whoa.
blowing up.
We're so famous.
Oh my goodness.
Doubled our numbers.
Thanks, guys. We're really excited about it, and we're just
We're very excited about it.
Follow us, like, subscribe, share.
All that stuff. Promotion will be much heavier for Dice Shame because this is something that Invictus has always been something of a passion project in the way that painting for yourself is a passion project. It's sort of like releasing steam, being creative. Dice Shame is the first time, and this is sort of a project co-founded or co-started by Joe, Jess, and myself. It was sort of a way to express in a more professional way. So this is different in Invictus in some ways and sort of its love child in many other ways.
And you guys should hear the music that Justin is composing. Like, original stuff. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. But not right now. Right now, we're going to play a little Apocalypse World.
Yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Don't ever apologize for that. That was beautiful. All right. Should I run the credits?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Credits.
Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, Apocalypse World Session 5.
There is only darkness. For a while. And then the sound of dripping. Water. Plink. 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 Steadily. Breaks through the nothingness. Then a low rustling and a scuttling sound. Plink. Plink. Hex, you slowly regain consciousness. To just droplets of water slowly falling on your head from some distance.
What the fuck?
You're in the dark. It's nighttime, maybe? You were gravely injured.
What does it smell like here?
It smells rancid. It smells like sweet death. It smells like motor oil, like rot, like dirt. You realize that you're lying on something soft and wet and also sharp, protruding from the ground.
Am I still wearing my clothes?
You've got some clothes on.
I reach into my pocket, pull my lighter.
You reveal a small area around you with the glow from your lighter. You see bodies. You're lying on a heap of goat and humanoid bodies.
Oh, fuck.
You are also, it seems, on a pile of rubbish. This is a dump site.
Ruth!
No answer, but the scuffling sound that you heard stops.
Hello?
Nothing.
I hold my wound, which is on my side. Like hot blood has like ceased to drip because of the time that it's had since, but I can feel the tender flesh around the wound starting to like go off almost because it's just been an open wound for so long. And I'm going to start moving, I guess, slowly, trying to feel for a wall. My lighter lasts only short bursts, like as like gusts of air come and like put it out. Like that.
Nice.
Like
Good.
that.
I
It's
like
me
that.
blowing, guys.
These special effects, I tell you.
Yeah, Hex, you travel a little ways through this disgusting graveyard, this pit of bodies and trash. You see burnt out shells of vehicles. There's like a big old stove here, and there's a lot of death. And as you slowly gain your bearings and realize what has happened to you, you recognize a little bit more about your body. Yes, you have recovered from some of the injuries that you sustained during your battle in this terror dome, during the horrors that you endured there. You also realize that your metal collar that had been snapped around your neck is no longer there. Has been removed.
So obviously it dawns on me that I should be dead. That the only way they would remove that collar from me is if I was. And for a moment I have this like existential crisis, almost like this panic attack. Hex revolves around his personality and obviously his existence. So he's like, do I hear that like movement again?
You hear a voice actually comes out of the darkness. Hello there. Come here. Come closer.
And I like extend the lighter towards the sound.
You see a shadow cast deep underneath an overhang. There's part of like a large shovel from an old bulldozer that's sort of capsized up. Like in the deep darkness underneath that you hear this voice coming. Come here, you.
You know, I think I'm okay here. Actually, you know, I'm just gonna
What? What will you do?
waltz out of here probably.
Walk
appreciate.
around in the filth in the bodies until they find you?
What do you mean till they find me?
What do you mean? You're supposed to be dead. Come here.
And I swallow hard. Do I still have my hidden knives on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something your character just innately
That's what I
has
thought.
always.
Okay, so I feel the hard, thin metal beneath my wrist skin, and sort of move forward in the darkness, keeping it hidden still. Hey, I don't want any trouble.
No trouble, and none for me either, of course. Come here.
And I approach.
The flickering small light that you hold forth reveals the body of a man. He's resting, it looks like. His torso is long. His arms look strong. He's maybe a little bit older than you. His face is creased and grimy. And his hips and continue in robotic something. He's a collaboration of man and robot. He's got two long, powerful looking limbs that are encased in shiny metal.
Hey, you happen to know the way out of here?
Well, there isn't really one, necessarily. You were meant to be a champion, were you not?
Well, I was meant to be a lot of things, I guess.
Yes, like most of them who come here to the city. You saw some future in a tall tower in the penthouse and wanted some of that fortune for yourself, and you failed. But you didn't die. Most of them die. And he looks around at the heap of bodies.
I'm tough to kill. I'm wily like that. Say,
You
didn't-
must be hungry.
Yeah, a little bit.
Come with me. And he stands up and sort of alarmingly quickly skitters backward into the darkness, into some hole, some hallway that you hadn't noticed.
Look, I'm looking for a friend of mine that probably came in on the shipment that I was in. Did you see anyone?
His voice echoes out of the darkness, dripping with water.
I see everyone who comes through here.
And I sort of glance back towards the darkened piles, thinking Ruth might be on. I sort of hesitantly take a half step towards going back and searching.
Who are you looking for?
And then I sort of realize that even if I wanted to, doing it by firelight would be meaningless, and my lighter would burn out before I'd find her. My friend, an older woman named Ruth. Not older, if she heard me say that. Look, maybe I could borrow a light. And I kind of walk in and follow his voice.
Let me see.
You hear rummaging. And there is light farther in, beyond a couple of twists and turns, carefully camouflaged from the dump site outside. There's some light. There's a lantern.
And I move through this hole. I kind of almost picture it like a spider den.
Yes,
You
very
know, but
much so.
the webbing is black tubes and sort of cybernetic spider, you know, and I move in deeper with
And
this.
coming through the walls of this tunnel, there are decomposing arms.
Yeah.
There are bits. There's a lamp. There's a blender. There are some industrial. It's mix of machine and human.
And as I
refuse.
kind of feel the walls, as my eyes are still adjusting, my hand rests on someone's face decomposed, and I'm oh,
the skin sloughs off wetly as you touch it.
and I quickly move towards the light. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Oh, I keep the choicest bits here.
What do you mean choice?
And you see her. You see Ruth.
Oh God! And I run over
Her body is one of
Ruth!
a few in a pile.
and I shake her. Come on!
What? She can't hear you. She's dead.
No. That's not
Look
possible.
at her.
He comes over and he slaps her across the face. She's dead.
No, she's not fucking dead. She's not. Vehicles.
She's in good condition, of
Pieces.
course.
We came in on a ambulance. Do they dump that here too?
Of course.
Where would they? Show me where they are.
What? No. You don't see. This is my property. You will pay me.
What do you mean pay you?
She's in good condition.
Look, I don't have anything to. What do you want me to buy her with?
You have several very healthy-looking limbs.
You want me to?
I will take them from you.
Okay, all right. Let's
He
trade.
scampers toward you.
Okay, all right. Okay. Let's trade. Which limb do you want?
As you can see, I have no need of legs. These are just fine.
How about my left hand?
Let me see.
He takes your hand and holds it in his. You see the skin on both of his hands. Oh, Siri wants to talk to me. You see the skin on both of his hands is getting kind of it's like putrescent. One of his hands has got like a bloated look to it, like there are bubbles of gas underneath the skin, and he holds your hand with his.
Yes. What kind of craft do you do?
Well, I'm an artist by trade, story weaver.
Yes. I'll take the eye also.
Fair enough. Do me a favor, take the hand first. And I walk over to like a table and I like clear it and I lay the hand flat.
He licks his lips and turns his back to you, rummaging around in a box, a steel box. You hear the clink of tools, and then he produces a large rusty cleaver and then scampers over to you, quick as all hell.
And
Brandishes this cleaver.
All right. Stand still.
and Hex, my heart is like racing. And I sort of stand back with my left arm outstretched, laying upon the top of the table, sort of presenting the open hand, ready for him to hack it off. And in my right hand, I kind of keep it low. I'm drawing my hidden blade.
You see Ruth's body behind him, cast in this kerosene light, unmoving, her eyes open, the whites of them gray.
And the minute he reels back with the cleaver, I'm going to draw my blade up through his chin and into his brain, depending on how long my blade is.
So what are we going to roll for that?
Let's see.
Sucker someone?
Well, I don't know. He might be ready for some funny business.
He doesn't know I have a blade on him.
He doesn't know that you have a blade.
And I can't miss, because the whole reason I did
think
this,
you're going to seize by force. You want to keep hold of something you have, aka your own hand. So roll plus hard.
What am I seizing? My hand?
Yeah, you're going to keep hold of something you have. Roll to seize by force. Instead of choosing to take definite control, you can choose to keep definite control of your own hand.
But I'm offering my hand to him. Like he's not holding it down. I'm just keeping it there. All I have to do is move it. Right?
We
I'll just
want to
attack him
see
then.
if you can do
I won't
that.
wait then. No, I'm not gonna. I won't offer the hand then. I'll just attack him.
Okay.
Yeah, you could be seizing Ruth by force too.
I think seize by force is the correct roll.
Okay. I will seize by force. Hard +1.
And you may have XP from the audience if you like.
5, 6. That's not going to do it.
Ooh. On a miss, choose one. So, you can either inflict terrible harm, suffer little harm, keep definite control of your limb, or impress, dismay, or frighten your enemy.
That doesn't sound bad.
Well, I get to take a hard move against you now.
Oh, I see.
That's the thing that happens.
I mean, I guess I'll just harm him then?
You want to... So then the problem is that you would fail to keep control of your hand.
Oh, okay. Then I will pull my hand back.
Okay, so you're going to keep definite control of your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he recognizes then in that instant when you pull your hand back and his cleaver clunks against the wooden table, you see fire in his eyes and he screams, You thief, that is mine. And he scampers to the exit and blockades it. He pulls a big piece of metal, sheet metal, and locks you in this room with him.
And I'll run at him and attack him.
Okay. Let's exchange harm.
Okay.
He's got a cleaver. Let me see what a cleaver does. Do you have armor on?
Whatever I had originally. So no.
I think you do. That was one of the things that you chose for your barter, unless you spent it.
I don't remember. No, I did not spend it. So then I would still have it.
You have like leather or something.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, one of the reasons that you actually got yourself in this condition last episode was you forgot
that I
about
had
your
it.
armor.
So I inflict harm equal minus the armor rating of your enemy's armor. I suffer harm equal minus the armor rating of the enemy's armor.
Yeah, you have fashion worth 1 armor.
Yeah. So I took that, and I'm going to... So I do 2 harm as I run at him.
Cool.
And you choose to inflict terrible harm, so it'd be an extra +1.
Did I?
That's what you said in the Seize by Force a minute ago.
No, he chose to keep control of his...
Oh, sorry, you're right. You're right. I heard the first thing and forgot the second thing.
You know what? You're great. Don't worry about it. Looking for weapons on the thingy. Sorry, guys. Custom firearms.
So when can you sucker someone? I don't understand how that...
It's basically like if someone is kneeling in front of you and they're like, please don't hurt me, please. And then you're like, I hurt them. That's suckering them.
Yeah, or if you're a sniper on a roof and there's no possible way they could see you.
Or if you have a hidden blade and you're standing right next to somebody.
Maybe if they weren't aware of you.
I guess.
So when you exchange harm, both sides simultaneously inflict and suffer harm as established. You inflict harm equal to the harm rating of your weapon minus the armor rating of your enemy's armor. This guy's got a big knife. He deals 1 harm to you, or 2 harm minus 1 because of your armor. So you take 1 harm.
Okay.
And how much do you deal to him?
2 harm.
Okay. So he gets his cleaver hard into your shoulder. The space between where your shoulder blade connects with this bone. Humerus, I want to say.
It's not funny.
And then you got him?
Is he dead?
You, with 2 harm, most NPCs go down pretty good.
Okay.
So
Either way, I'd stab him in his eyes.
Okay. That's not a place most people want to be stabbed. Yeah, you get him good in the eyes. And
just like I'm trying to go between both of them. I feel like 2 harm is 2 stabs.
Okay, you do 2 stabs worth of harm. What happens now?
Is he dead?
Yeah, he goes down. He's writhing, but probably not for long.
I keep stabbing him.
Okay. This is suckering someone.
Well, that feels like coup de grace.
Yes,
fair enough.
that's what I mean. Suckering
Okay, so I'm like stabbing him over and over, just like fucking motherfucker.
Yeah.
And like the black blood is like splattering against my face, and I like wipe it, and there's like streaks. And does he have like, he said he has a back door to this place?
No, he just like dragged some metal to obscure the tunnel that led back out to the boneyard.
I pull it back over.
Okay.
And I go to look for a light.
I mean, he has the lantern in the room with you and Ruth.
Okay, I snag it and like run over and look at Ruth again. And I'm gonna do like, I guess I can't do like a medicine check or anything like that.
This ain't D&D.
I do a.
Just you look at her.
I look at her. She looks dead.
Yeah,
obviously.
she feels dead.
So I'm gonna head back out to the graveyard, for lack of a better term, and I want to take a look around real quick to see if I can find the ambulance. We came in on the ambulance. I can't imagine they would have kept it. They might have scrapped it for parts. I don't know. I'm gonna look around for it.
Okay, you can do that. You can read a bad situation.
Okay,
I want to say
sure.
read a situation.
I will read a situation with a 5+. Peripheral room moves, basic moves, read situation. Research is sharp, so that comes out to 6.
That fails again.
So
So you still get to ask one.
okay. I don't want to ask any of that. I didn't want to read a situation. I want to find the ambulance.
Okay.
None of these are what I wanted. It
Your
says,
your
what-
question wants to be, where's the ambulance?
No, I don't want to question. I wanted to go out and look for the ambulance. So
Yeah.
how would that?
So you can just do that.
Well, that's what I wanted to do.
I'm sorry. I
That's okay.
misunderstood.
I know.
thought
I
you
don't
wanted
understand
to-
what read a situation.
I thought you wanted to read a situation about.
I want to look for the ambulance to see if it's in the graveyard.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you walk around for a little while. It's dark. You have this lantern. It's unclear what time of day it is. You're not feeling well. You have a pretty bad stab wound in your shoulder. So it takes you a little while crawling up and over these hills and mounds of rotting flesh, slick with viscera.
Are other things alive in the graveyard?
Sometimes.
I feel like when they come, I lay down and like play dead because I'm bleeding from 2 wounds.
Like sometimes a goat person comes by and you're not sure if they're like running somewhere or frolicking maybe. You know how mountain goats like climb up steep inclines?
Frolicking
They do
and-
that sometimes.
Nice.
But you wait until they pass by and eventually you see the familiar spray painted side of the ambulance.
Yes, I run over to it and like wedge open the door. Is it unlocked?
I mean, the front door had been torn off by those weird
That's
wolfmen
right.
people.
Yeah.
So you could probably get in that way.
Yeah, I climb in the ambulance and immediately I'm like brought back to a time that feels so long ago almost. It's like already almost reminiscent as I'm like moving through the ambulance and the smell of like sweat and like stains from various wounds that I had sort of pretended where they came from echo as I moved into the back. And I look towards where Grundle is in the back.
Yeah, he's still there, but the machines are off. It's been, you don't even know how long since
Yeah.
you were conscious. You're not a medicine person, but he looks pretty dead to you. I mean, he's still all hooked up to this machinery, and the whole point of being here was to like read his brains.
Yeah. I go to see if the power still works. And I like remember watching Ruth do it. It's like a like how they do in Jurassic Park where they got to prime it.
Yeah.
You know how you like push it 3 times and like cock it 3 times and then press the on button?
You do that?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Fuck. Can I find out how it doesn't work? Read a stitch or something?
There's no enemies though, is the thing.
Well, I don't know. How do I make it work? Help? Someone?
Rob, do you know anything about?
I mean, you either know how to make it work or you don't.
Okay, I know how to make it work.
You
Well.
look at the machine and it occurs to you that it needs fuel, like everything else in this world.
Perfect. I throw the back open and pull the long, like spiny things out of Grundle and like push Grundle out the back, which like falls like a wet thud.
It's like the Matrix when Neo gets unhooked.
Yeah, they're really long, and I'm like, fuck this, sorry buddy, and I go pouring out back with like I kind of picture for some reason in this futuristic world it's a bullseye lantern I'm using.
Yeah.
And
D&D shit.
And I'm like moving around, and as I'm moving back towards Ruth, I'm going to be looking for, and I bring a jerry can, and I'm looking for any like vehicles that are like in the yard as well.
Yeah, actually, you see Elvira.
Dope.
But she's been pretty badly picked over. She's missing both of her wheels.
Doesn't matter. I'm here for Ruth alone right now, and I quickly get down, and not only, I know Elvira's tank is drained, but they wouldn't know that I keep a spare can under it, because oftentimes when you're out in the waste, you run out of gas, or you leave your vehicle and people siphon the gas, even when you're in town. However, and I like lift up the seat, and there's like a small quart that I keep just in case of gasoline, and I'm like happily stow that in my bag, and I run back and take Ruth, and I kneel down next to her, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna work. I kept Grundle alive for who knows how long. It's gonna do the same for you. And I pick you up and I throw you over my shoulder.
Yeah, her body is stiff and cold.
And I carry Ruth like through the graveyard. It's like thunder cracks overhead. And I'm like,
starting to rain.
It starts pouring rain as I'm moving over these piles of like bodies and refuse and like machine parts, and like step over step as the rain just beating down my head. I throw you down onto the table in the back of the ambulance and grab the wires and stick them where you stuck them in Grundle. And where it's like primed 3 times to start it, I prime it like 6 times. And like hope that the extra charge brings you back, and I prime it and I prime it and I prime it and I prime it and I prime it. And then I think I hold my hand over the button, and then I go to touch your hand, because I know that when you were alive, there was this weird connection you had when your skin touched someone else. And I know this might not bring you back fully. It might only send a jolt through your skin like it did with Grundle, but my hope is I can reach you in your weird in that moment. So I put one hand on you and one hand on the button, and I press it.
I want you to do that psychic maelstrom shit. Open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom. Yeah.
Roll plus weird, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be bad. Someone gave me XP though, didn't they?
No, look at this. You're laughing.
No,
That-
I'm -2.
Dead Echo Lucas just spent an XP. Said, I'll spend an XP. Whoops, too late. So if that's okay.
Well, 7.
You're 7. You're still laughing.
I'm still good.
7 will do.
Wow.
Hex,
You give me an impression?
why? Why do you want Ruth back so much?
Because Hex loves Ruth. He respects her. He never hit on her. He never wanted to have sex with her, because he always saw her as someone who was worthy of life. Someone who was worthy of being a part of this world. What?
No, nothing. Joe is like, because it doesn't matter.
Oh, because I hit
I'm your
on you?
girlfriend. Yeah.
Well, I'm also not Hex. Hex is a terrible person. He's a weird...
So
he's like Joey.
You care about Ruth. You want her back because she's one of the only people you've ever truly cared about.
It's because I think that she is... In the world of scales, Hex sort of sees life measured out in good and bad, and she is one more grain on the side of good. And the world needs as much good grains as it can have.
It's interesting because last session we were talking about Loki and Hex being kind of like Loki and how you could see him going that way. And this feels very much to me like a step in the opposite direction, where you're realizing that people like Ruth need to exist in the world because there are people like this Undertaker who would take your hand.
I think Hex has always known that. I think the reality is Hex is that scale. He is the one that is like both, but he recognizes that there is a place for good in the world and a place for bad in the world. Like Loki, I think he doesn't necessarily fit on either of those sides at one given time, but he recognizes that Ruth does, and Ruth needs to be here because she does matter to this world. So it's kind of like in Hex's mind, he's like, no, Ruth has to be back here because she is an important part of the good in this world, and I can't be it.
What are you scared of right now?
What is Hex scared of?
Yeah.
Losing Ruth. That this doesn't work.
Why?
Because it's the only person in the world that he connects with. It's the only other person that he knows. It's if without her he's alone. It's selfish in a way. He has nothing. He has to figure this out without her, and she's smarter than him.
You hold her hand,
Yeah.
or you touch her face.
Her
Or
hand.
you're holding her hand. You smell the gasoline get hot and catch. You hear the chugging of the machine and the familiar beeps. You're not 100% sure if you've hooked her up right, but you watched Mox and Shigusa do it a couple times. And, when Grendel rolled out the back of the van, you saw them reestablish all those connections when Ruth jumped in the back of the ambulance to get them all hooked back up again. You kind of approximately know where everything needs to be, and you wait. It takes maybe half an hour, and this machine is just chugging along before something happens that makes you feel like maybe this isn't the end of the line. The machine starts to make those noises that you remember hearing when Grendel was on life support. The beeps and the whirs. The lights on the machine start moving. And then her hand starts to get warm. I want to fast forward a couple of days. And it happens. Ruth, you open your eyes. What do you do, Hex? Ruth, it seems like it's worked.
This was days later?
This is days later.
Oh, wow. I guess at that point, Hex would have been like, in and out of the graveyard. I feel like Hex would look very different too. He's like wearing this like black like piece of fabric that's stitched into places that's taken off someone else that like doesn't have his blood on it. He's like got his hood up because he's like trying to stay hidden from the other people. I think when Ruth wakes up, Hex isn't there. He's probably out scouring or scavenging. So it's more interesting to hear what Ruth feels when she wakes up in the back of the ambulance.
What did dying feel like, and what's different now?
So she gains consciousness, and all she can, like, there's an element of all she can hear in her head is, I'm such a fool. I was so afraid of I was so afraid of this howling, of this maelstrom, this storm. But there's a part of her that feels like, oh, I understand. And that just really means that, like, oh, I'm floating now instead of sinking. I'm not drowning. I just am at the mercy of this storm. But at least I'm floating on top. There's an element of just her just having this vision of her mind floating in this swirling space, this yelling, and these wolves chasing her, and there's a fear of like what that would mean, because that would be more final somehow than what happened to her body. But just in this moment of like looking into these monsters coming at her, she opens her eyes and they're not there. It's just her alone in the dark with like the green lights from these machines beeping. And that like beeping getting faster as she sees it, and sees it's her heartbeat, and sees, oh shit, I'm alive.
I want to put a pause on that scene.
Yeah.
And I want to visit Locke. Locke, it's been, by your count, almost 2 weeks since you won that Battle Dome. And and you took the grapes and you left your friends bleeding, dying in the dirt.
Right.
What happened to you? What's been going through your head? I mean, it's certainly been exciting being a cause for talk, being a minor celebrity, being treated well. What's been going through your head?
Well, that's a great question. A lot of that depends on how well they treated me. Is it fair for me to decide how well they treated me, or do you have that in mind already?
I do have that in mind. So you have been given quarters in a boarding house type establishment. You have your own room, 4 walls. You have a lock on your door and a key to that lock in your possession. That's probably the first time that's ever happened for you. You are invited to a common meal every day with the other champions. And you are afforded the respect of the people who live here in this city. The chroniclers leave you alone, pretty much. The goat people like to awkwardly crowd you when they see you. People, these goat people, sometimes in front of you in the street while you're about doing whatever it is that you do on your day-to-day, they'll like sometimes enact ham-fisted versions of things that happened to you while you were in this battle dome. One of them pretends to be you, and one of them pretends to be the man with the bad teeth, and they have these little mimed
performances. It sounds like.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of hero worship going on.
Right, definitely. And I mean, physically, how have I been doing the past 2 weeks? I mean, I've been looked after physically by some of these worshippers. Have people been interested in, I would say that definitely Locke has taken advantage of some of this hero worship, and has enjoyed some good foot massages.
Certainly.
Definitely maybe some other things.
Some benefits, for sure.
Some benefits from that. Definitely.
You've also been tasked with fighting again in the arena, and I will say, without having to play through it, that you have been victorious.
All right.
So you've proven your mettle twice, and it's been made public that you have a special fight coming up.
All right. What do I know about this fight?
Well, you've heard her name, and it's one that you've known before. She's someone who has never been bested, and she's actually competed in one of the. I guess there's more than one variety of competition that they like to have here. One of them is like a vehicle proficiency type battle, like a demolition derby, and she's done her work at that one as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Sorrow.
No kidding.
She has got the best accommodations. She doesn't live in the boarding house with the rest of you. She's got her own little setup, a penthouse in the tower where, what's his name? Huxley lives. Garland Huxley. So
the same tower.
Yeah.
All right. So I've basically spent these past 2 weeks. Have I had any encounters with the head of the Chroniclers? Have they, the lead? Garland Huxley is not the leader of this clan. Do I have any sense of who the lead politician might be?
You don't see much of the Chroniclers. They hang out near the gates to keep security tight. And then they also have some establishments within the city that they keep pretty tightly locked up to the goat people and to the other citizens.
Interesting. Well, aside from enjoying some of the physical benefits of being a hero, Locke has been spending a lot of time on the streets. A lot of time learning people's names, learning who's run things in the different districts. And that's how I found out about where Sorrow is living.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Locke is walking towards the penthouse where Sorrow resides. And he's just keeping an eye. He finds himself an old milk crate that is just sitting up against the side of a building. And he sits down, he pulls out some, he's wearing like a hood and stuff, middle of the day. It's quite, the sun is beating down, so it's good to have most of your skin covered. And he's just going to be drawing circles in the sand with a metal rod that he picked up. And every now and then he's glancing at the entrance of the penthouse and keeping an eye out for a woman who could potentially be Sorrow. We met her sister, right?
Yeah, you know what her sister looks like.
Right, so I'm looking for long legs, bombshell body, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, that's definitely stereotyping sisters. Sisters can look very different, but I'm assuming there's some sort of familiar resemblance.
She said, my sister looks like me, except she's a brunette.
Right, so I probably remember that at some point.
You've got a pretty clear...
Brunettes are
representation.
sexier anyway.
Well,
So, why is Locke interested in figuring out the layout and the power politicking of this place? Is it just self-preservation, or are you curious?
it's a great question. There's a lot of, between all the sex and foot massages, there's a lot of sitting around doing nothing. And as far as Locke's concerned, his friends are dead. He's got a bit of an inkling of hope, but it's very faint. I doubt that he's even aware of it. And so a lot of the times he's just bored. And so he's kind of on this autopilot of like, well, I was already trying to figure this out, so I might as well continue on and see where this trail leads, so to speak.
Has the metal collar around your neck begun to chafe you yet?
Oh, it's still around my neck. Oh, that's a good question then. Well, it has. I think at first, within the first few days, I was definitely nervous about it. I didn't want to do anything out of line. And then I got to a point, maybe around day 4 or 5, where I realized that I'm not the type of person who can handle just sitting and waiting for shit to happen. I'm Locke. I'm a battle babe. I go out and do shit. Despite whether or not there's an exploding collar around my neck. So I started to push some boundaries, And starting to see whether or not, okay, well, can I leave my building? Is this like some sort of, ball and chain, like house arrest sort of thing? Turns out I could leave my building. All right, well, can I go, leave my district? No problem. Am I allowed to go into the more affluent districts? Turns out, yes, I can. Here I am. And so it's been an interesting time getting used to the thrill of having this exploding collar on my neck. I'm kind of numb to it now. I kind of forget that it's there because, really where my head's at now is that if it does explode, I'm not going to know it. And
That's
if
fair.
it doesn't, well, then I'm still alive. So
this is
there we
your
go.
new normal.
This is the new norm.
What does the new normal look like for Ruth and Hex? Sorry, you got a cough drop in.
That's okay. I mean, the minute Ruth was alive. Hex lost it. Threw his arms around her, slapped her a little bit, told her she was a bitch for ever dying on him. And I told you I could work this goddamn machine. See? Whack. Everything's great. And then what? 2 weeks go by?
Yeah, I mean, it's more like
Before Ruth can even
5 or
talk.
6 days for you guys because you spend a lot of time being unconscious and dead.
So I would say in that time I've done some reconnaissance because I've done about 5 different. So I've realized that Locke doesn't know that we're dead. Mm-hmm. I've sort of I feel like Hex has like part of the reason he wears a hood and shit is he's like slipped out to the streets and slipped back to the graveyard a little bit. He's aware of a few things. One of them being that the machine that reads the information on Grundle's head, I'm almost confident that it doesn't need to be, Grundle doesn't need to be alive for it to work.
How did you find that out?
So I was touring the streets one day, and there's like in the sort of tent district, which is like the really low poverty areas, there are a bunch of traders, people who are like constantly putting wares out on blankets and like all that kind of stuff. And one of them offered chronicler secrets and chronicler gear, but they were like small items, nothing that really was important. And I sort of questioned him, and I was like, you wouldn't happen to know what other kind of stuff the chroniclers have? And he revealed to me, whether true or not, that he was an old ex artificer, like a person who would watch over the vaults when he was younger of the chroniclers, and then they boot him out. And I believed him, and I sort of asked him about a few specific gears, and I said, I said it without saying it, I was like, I know there's some sort of gadget that if you bring a live head into the machine, it can read its thoughts. And he was like, alive, dead, doesn't make a difference. And I was like, what do you mean? And that was sort of how. So that's been on the back of my mind, that I've been really excited to tell Ruth when she's up. But that's as much as I have relayed to Ruth about the world outside and all that.
I don't think Ruth has actually said anything yet. Like, it's been 5 or 6 days of her like trying to warm up from stone cold rigor mortis dead to like regain feeling in most of her. Like there's been a lot of it is like Hex talking at her, and there's been the odd eye movement of like she'll make eye contact or look away or do something that responds, but there isn't a lot of like conversation until
Hex
like
is just slapping this near comatose woman
Yeah, oh yeah.
with abandon.
There's like a wall of your ambulance that's cleared, and I have used it like a whiteboard, and there's like all these plans, and I'm like, okay, so we need to get the bomb off of Locke's head, and here's how we got to do them. Garden Huxley has the way to, and Hex has like devised this whole plan on how to get out, get to the chroniclers, and like Ruth has just sort of been there watching.
Well, and she's stuck looking at it while you're out exploring the world for hours and hours and days. She's like stuck looking at your dumb plan on the wall. And I mean, it's not dumb, but
well, the best part is like I drew a map of like the vaults, and I'm like, well, if you're just gonna stare,
of the vaults?
well, because I don't know, I just figured it'd be cool if he like memorized it because he stares at it all day. Or Ruth, okay, something that you have to memorize would be really cool if I like drew it out and it was like continually you just staring at it nonstop. Maybe not a map, maybe I don't know.
there's one day you've come in and you've got like plan number 5 that you're updating, and you're like, that one won't work, we've got to change it. And Ruth just sits up finally and swings her legs sort of off to the side a little bit and like pats the table or the gurney beside her and sort of says like, motions for you to come sit down beside her.
And I like sit down and I'm like, Ruth, are you making a move on me finally?
Hex.
Oh.
Hex, I screwed up.
What do you mean?
All of this, all of that. What do we don't need any of that. What are we even doing here?
What do you mean, what are we doing here? Whoa.
We got greedy, or I got greedy. We got dead. I was sort of hoping, we'd whatever's in that moldy corpse over there's brain was going to be riches beyond belief, but I died. Mox Shagusa, who knows? Locke's got a bomb around his neck. Just look at you. You're not Hex anymore. You're this guy wearing this greasy cloak, slinking around the graveyard in this place past the oil fields. Fuck, I ruined this.
Ruth, what the fuck are you talking about? This... And, like, Hex kind of gets offended for a second. Because, Ruth is on the good side of things. And he, like, walks over to the whiteboard wall. And he's like, but... Ruth, you're acting like this is new information. The world's dead. It's done. All of this.
I know. Yet it has been from day one. And, we drove a long way to go to a different piece of dead world. There was a nice little home we had there. We just walked away from it. I had, anyways, walked away from that. Here we are.
Well, what was nice about it? It was just a fucking nothing. It's all nothing, Ruth. We make our own path. We make our own purpose. And when that light goes out, we fucking light a new light. Did we fail? Fuck yeah, we failed. We fail every step of the way. We failed when we were born. We failed when we were born in this fucking cursed earth. We failed when we met. But that's not going to fucking stop. We're going to keep failing.
Okay.
And this, and I point to the whiteboard, this is just another failure. But you know what? It'll be a fun failure.
Light a new light. That's the old one, man. Hex, that's the old one. We got to think bigger. We got to think better than that. They got all these people, they're slaving around. They're forcing them to fight each other. Those guys, we got to figure out who they are. Nobody here wants to be doing that to each other. Everybody's yearning for something better. Why don't we give them something better? Give them a calm port in this storm. We can do better than whatever secrets are in that piece of rotting meat. Who cares? This place, there's some stuff here. We could make this nice.
Yeah, all right.
Go big or go home.
Let's stop there for the mid-game post.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring Justin James as 10 minutes of audio. Sorry, buddy.
10 minutes of long. That's all right.
I
It was all I needed.
It's going to be
That's fine.
little mini
don't
part
worry,
for
love.
Locke
It's
in the
fine.
first
Don't
half.
worry.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the mid-game post. This is the part of the game where we stop the action, we jump to you in the Discord chat, and we say, what's up, what's up, what's up?
What's
Sup,
up? What's up? We're talking about
Discord?
90s video games.
Yeah, Justin's
We're
been
talking
keeping
about-
the chat warm.
The Sims, Roller Coaster
Neopets?
Tycoon.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh, Neopets.
I fucked with Neopets.
I've
for
never played Neopets.
sure. Oh my
I
god,
just played
Carly.
with that. I couldn't get. I loved it, but I didn't
Carly
get how to
and me
make
would have
money.
been close
Neil
in
points, rather.
elementary school. For sure.
I just played Roller Coaster Tycoon a bunch in my last days at work because I had nothing to do. So I am so... have you ever seen the Mr. Bones Wild Ride or whatever it's called?
No.
No.
Yeah, where it like kills everybody.
No, they never... they never get off. It's like an old 4chan thing where it's like,
Yeah.
I want to get off Mr. Bones Wild Ride. It was a custom... The fuck is this shit? It was a custom designed ride from the computer sim Roller Coaster Tycoon. The ride purportedly lasted 4 years of game time for each virtual passenger that included an exit path that led back to the entrance of the ride, creating a never-ending loop. It's often associated with the abbreviation Too Spooky.
That's awesome.
It's so good. Everyone's like, I want to get off Mr. Bones Wild Ride.
Did you guys
remember
play,
how you could
Planet
read the
Coaster?
No.
What?
Planet Coaster?
No.
No, not
But
yet. Did you?
I did have Tamagotchis.
I haven't played it.
I heard it's good.
That's what I hear, but I don't know.
I had two
Not the same.
Tamagotchis. I had a broken Tamagotchi from France that my
that my best friend who lived across the road brought for me. She had it from France, and then she broke it, and then she gave it to me, and it was a bat.
Oh.
That you could take care of. So, but there was only a few of the pixels that worked, so it was really like a whole clue finding hunt to try to figure out what the needs were and how indeed you would help the thing.
Is that a
And
poop
then I
or
dropped
a
it
heart?
in the and then I dropped it in the pool. So
Oh.
bummer. I cried
was always
so
jealous.
hard when I dropped
Did
it
you?
in the pool. Oh my god.
You're so detached from that emotion
Devastating.
now. You just said bummer, and then
Bummer.
wow, the reality of it.
Yeah,
I was always
she's
jealous of
muted her
Tamagotchis.
emotions now.
That's right.
I
Since
always
meeting me.
wanted one.
You're jealous of Tamagotchis?
I still am.
They have one on their
love it.
phone.
You
Get it
oh
on
my
your
god,
phone.
there's an iPhone app
No.
for Tamagotchis.
No. I want the little,
No.
I want the little like egg thing with the little buttons.
I don't know if you have the responsibility for that. It's a lot of work, you know?
I don't have the responsibility.
You know, I've been playing Destiny 2.
How have you been liking it?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? On PlayStation?
No, on computer.
Oh, I didn't know it was.
It
on
went
computer.
free to play.
Harlan was sick today, so
Oh.
he played it all day long.
I didn't realize it was free to play. I never played it.
Okay.
And I saw it on Steam. It just got released on Steam free to play. And I was like, fuck it, I'll download it. It's got the MMO stuff I don't like. But beyond that, I'm kind of digging it, actually.
Wait, but is it MMO? Like you don't like? It's not complete open world. Like there's.
It's very MMO.
Really? I didn't know it was MMO.
Yeah, like you do fire teams and boss battles and
Yeah, but the boss battles aren't like connected to like a big world.
yeah, they are.
They're not instant.
Yeah, they're like all you can do. Like I don't know, it's really confusing. There's a lot you can do. There's like
okay.
strike teams where you can do missions and with like two people you meet online, and then there's like bounties. It's like a big open world. Like there's people running around and shit. You know, there's like a hub where you take missions and stuff. Yeah, but
Wow, I did not know that.
I'm kind of digging it actually. I'm waiting for me to be like, okay, but it's free, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, true.
But you should get it.
Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
What should we put for the mid-game post?
I don't know. When will Harlan's
Favorite-
cold end?
Favorite most nostalgic game? Favorite game?
Favorite? Oh, favorite? Yeah, video game. 90s video game.
How about how excited are you for How about everyone who follows Dice Shame on Instagram and Twitter?
Ooh. We make it totally self-promotional.
Well, why not?
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Let's get some
if
numbers
you
up.
follow Dice Shame on Instagram and Twitter between now and the end of this break, then we're going to put you in a draw for thingy. XP. Oh my god, I have so many new followers.
Oh,
That's
wow.
exciting.
So popular.
I'm doing up a web page also for Dice Shame.
Yeah.
And everyone's got bios and stuff. It's real cute.
Biaz.
Joe knows me better than I do. It's a great bio.
I wrote a really cute bio for Harlan too. It's very.
It's pretty adorable.
You can tell that I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
It's like Harlan's the best thing that ever happened to the world.
Wow.
You're very sweet.
Whatever.
I know. It's not true.
Rob wrote his own, so it's very profesh. And I think I didn't write very much for Alex's. I just said he's a loose cannon. I'm waiting for him to send me his, or else it's just gonna say he's a loose cannon.
He's a loose cannon.
That's
He
so
is, though.
perfect.
Yeah, he's good though. I'm so glad that he's on the podcast. He
He's got
mispronounces
fantastic
so
energy.
many words.
Including
All
his
the
own
words.
character name.
Yeah.
He calls the Zentarum the Zentari, which I really like.
Langdon started following.
Langdon Plaster.
Langdon Pastor.
Ooh. Yeah, Zia said he's a loose cannon cop who doesn't play by the rules. That's exactly right. If by cop
It's
you
pretty
mean
close.
fighter. I
We
don't
also
want to
follow
leak
back.
too many details, but yeah, he's a
We
fighter.
follow back.
We follow back. We also have really bad Wi-Fi, so I can't actually load my likes right now. It's still
Oh, no.
just loading. I know.
We need
That's
to
not the
reset
Wi-Fi's
our
fault.
internet.
My Wi-Fi's fine. My Wi-Fi's
We have
fine.
preferential Wi-Fi. That's good.
Nope.
Borat jokes.
Topical. I've never seen Borat. I only just know that joke is a thing. That's all. How sad is that?
What are you guys gonna be for Halloween, Justin? You're gonna be downtown for Halloween.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be downtown. Hey, what am I gonna be? Probably Barack Obama again. I've been Barack Obama 8 years in a row, 10 years in a row, 17 years in a row.
Do you have a front porch? Are you gonna be handing out candy?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I know. We've got a little 3-year-old next door. No, 2-year-old. And I don't know if he's going to trick or treat, but I'll make sure I give him all the candy. It's a really great neighborhood. I'm really excited about it.
Super cool.
So yeah, kids and candy. I'll be doing the
I
whole
smell
Halloween
kids
thing.
in.
What do you
candy.
Which they don't
Dressing
do
up
on The
as Rob?
Sims. They don't do.
I am going to be sitting on the front porch handing out candy and glow sticks to the legion of children who come by.
So cute.
Cute.
You guys got a lot?
We did about, I think we had about 150-ish last year, kids.
Oh my god!
We ran out of glow sticks.
Harlan,
Yeah.
how many did you have? You
I
had a
don't
lot.
know because we were streaming that night. I
That was
think.
my Barack Obama.
No.
What?
Oh yeah, but you said that there was a lot.
There were a lot more than I thought. So we're gonna have to buy so much candy to make sure.
We're gonna take out Henry.
I think we better buy a lot of candy anyway.
We better not have Louis, or else he's just gonna bark the whole night long.
I would die.
Maybe it'd be good for him. Maybe he'll learn.
Therapy?
No, he'll
Be
just
like
bark himself hoarse.
Waterfall therapy.
Yeah,
Waterfall therapy?
I've thought
Yeah,
about
that's like
just standing out on
OC
the front porch. and
For
ringing the doorbell.
people with phobias, there's a technique called waterfalling, where if you're afraid of bats, you go into a bat cave and you experience bats fully.
You know what? I think that's a dumb idea.
Sounds
Well, I mean, it's not recommended at
by
the beginning
anyone
of therapy.
for anything.
No, it's a
To me,
technique.
that's
It's a
very much
legit
like my
technique.
dad, where he's like, "You afraid of water? Or you jump
Sink or
in."
swim.
Let me
Yeah.
throw you in the pool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I mean, obviously, if you like build up to it, and you're like, "Hey, in a month's time, I'm going to take you to the zoo, and you're going to see a bat." That I totally get.
Yeah, start by looking at a picture book of bats.
Yeah,
Don't
but if you're my dad, and you're like, "You'll get
bat
over it, or
cave.
you won't."
I mean,
Yeah.
I imagine if your dad was a professional who had studied it and had all of the here's my backup on the way and the best outcomes for people who expose people in this way and not that way, maybe.
No, my dad's an asshole.
Different than just tough it out, fuck it, go do this thing because I want
Nope,
to now.
doesn't
It's
matter.
annoying
Doesn't
that you're
matter
not.
if he studied it.
Yeah.
In every alternate universe, he's still a jerk.
It's
Well, I mean,
it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend.
It's Canadian
So thank you, eh?
Thanksgiving. Thank you
Eh?
for the reminder. I'm
Speaking
bringing
of seeing
my
family.
Opa.
Aw.
Oh, that's
It's Opa
cute.
time.
Opa. It's Gangnam Opa time. Boop-a-doo. Wait, those are two different songs? I think that's two different songs.
I've got a gold suit for him and everything.
what, Gangnam Style?
What? Gold suit for your Opa?
I've got a gold suit for my Opa.
I wish my
Yeah.
Opa
What?
had a gold suit.
He's 95 years old or 96, and I'm getting him a gold suit. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to now after Opa Gangnam Style. Does he wear a
God.
gold suit in that video? I think
Opa
he does.
Gangnam Style. Do 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 do.
That's,
That's
a
what-
different
that's-
song, yeah.
That's
I
what
know.
Opa is named after.
Gangnam
That's
Style?
what.
Is he?
Opa Gangnam Style.
Good for
yeah.
him going backwards in time and all that.
Well,
You know,
I
it's
mean,
a
it
tricky
was
way to
his-
travel through time, so.
Yeah. It was
Shame he doesn't have a
German
gold
technique.
jacket like that. Jiggy
Gangnam
jum
Style?
jum jigga jigga jum jum jigga.
My
Ba
Opa's
ba ba.
89. So
Your
almost
Opa's 89.
yeah, almost 10 years.
I feel
younger
like
than
your Opa and my Opa would get along. I
Was
would
your
like to
Opa
see
a
that.
Nazi?
Yes, he was.
Well,
He
they would
was.
get along so well.
Yikes.
Such a
My
sweet,
Opa
like,
loves
bittersweet
talking
thing.
about Hitler.
Who
Yeah.
doesn't though?
His
My Opa,
favorite.
yeah. By
He
Overlord's
told
talking
Hitler.
about like war victories that like he's like I should have got a medal for that, but if it was shown in any like American movie, it would be like viewed as like
An atrocity?
The atrocity
Yeah.
of like I shot down
And
5
then I
planes,
killed
like,
a young family.
My Opa's like, and then I had to throw my gun in the swamp, all because Hitler lost the war. It's like, okay.
He's all pissed off.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I want to see that Jojo Rabbit. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, I do.
The little
Yeah.
kid has Hitler,
Watiti.
imaginary friend. Looks really funny.
Yeah, I want to see that too.
I also watched a horror movie that takes place in World War II, which was really good, called Overlord. Just check it out.
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
Uberlord. Uberlord
Yes,
is the
but-
translation.
Side conversation. I'm splitting
Okay,
the
cool.
screen.
We won't tell them.
I watched The Ring.
The Ring?
Oh yeah,
How
she
was it?
watched The Ring.
I was scared, but not as scared as I thought I was gonna be.
No, she handled it pretty well, actually.
We
I mean,
did take
can't
a break.
recommend it.
We took a break mid movie to bake cookies. So
Oh, yeah.
That was the hardest I've
really
laughed in so
wholesome,
long.
right in
We
the-
like before the movie, we're like, we don't need snacks. Like we had
we
an
just
early
had dinner. We
and
didn't
then we're
eat
like,
snacks. So for first snack, here's what I'm gonna have, and then we'll pause the movie and have.
it ended up being like, we don't need anything. And then by the end of the conversation, it was like, okay, we'll start with popcorn and chips, and then break the movie halfway through, bake cookies. It's like no snacks. Ended up being 2 waves of snacks.
Considering brownies.
It's ridiculous.
Y'all are adorable.
It's
That's
terrible.
delightful. It's
But-
like terrifying, heartwarming, terrifying.
Yeah. No, you know what though? And I honestly, I know I'm not the right person to say this, but I think I can speak on behalf of all Ring viewers. It's not as scary as you expected, right?
I
Joe?
watched
I mean-
the movie like this, but the
But-
cover, the blanket had lots of holes in it, so I could like adjust
She
my
still
viewing
watched it,
amount.
technically.
If I hold the blanket really close to my face, you can see almost through the holes entirely. But if you pull it away, then it's like cover in D&D.
But I mean
I
to
can
say
only
that
tell you, I can only say 15-year-old me or teenage me did not enjoy it. Had a bad time.
but
wasn't
compared to the other horror movies we've seen, I would say it does not rank in the top.
I mean, I haven't seen a
scariest.
lot because I don't enjoy them as a genre. I don't like being scared. Don't scare me.
It's good mystery though. It's like a whodunit.
I didn't sweat really bad,
No. It was not Grave Encounters level scary.
which I do. That happens to me when I watch horror movies. Is I just have to take a shower afterwards. So, streaming RPGs.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing tonight?
I
Oh,
think
so the mid-game post. So we have Matt Yannick followed us.
Yes.
We
That's number
got
1. I'm gonna write it down. 1.
Langdon.
2 is Langdon.
We got Ethan Norris. I don't know who that is.
3
Oh, Colin Burkhart.
is Colin.
We got Jim Pyre.
4 is Jim.
We got Carly McConnell.
Carly, what's up?
And we got Mike, the bassist.
Mike.
And we got Fiorini Swan.
Uh-huh.
And, oh no, sorry, that's Mayra Maye.
Cool. I'm gonna go with Fiorini Swan for now.
Yeah.
So
And we got
that's-
Kenneth Scovebo.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, so that's
And we got, I'm just kidding.
God damn it. So that's 8. Let's roll a D8.
Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, okay, we're good.
Can you do that? No, it doesn't work. Never mind.
I guess I'll do it then.
Yeah.
No,
You do
no one move. Don't rush.
I tried
It's
to
an
do
8.
it.
So go to the last
Oh,
person, which
Kenneth.
was Matt Yannick.
Kenneth.
What?
It's Kenneth.
No, that
Matt-
was the first
Matt
person.
was number 1.
I think we should go the other way. I think Matt Yannick.
What?
Matt Yannick.
That's not okay.
Well, Kenneth's not watching right now
How do you know?
because he joined us before the stream.
Oh, well then it should have been a 1d8.
It would've been
then
1d7.
The 8 fails. So we'll roll again.
Okay.
So I'm going to strike
Well-
Kenneth from the record. Sorry, Kenneth.
So
Taken
close.
From the
And
record.
yet-
It's 7.
Oh, Fiorini Swan.
Okay.
Fiorini Swan.
But that's not the real name. I think it's Mayra Miami.
Mayra.
She's
M-I-A-M-E-R-E.
she talks here a lot. Hold on.
Does she?
May May.
Would you be so kind to
Wait,
write
Cat
that
Who
in the
Walks
chat
said
for
that
me?
they won something.
Who?
Or didn't, depending on fate.
I just won something.
You won
Or
something?
did-
Who's that?
Depending on face.
I don't know.
Let's
Oh, wait.
give it to them.
Is that Kenneth?
Is that Kenneth?
Well, I didn't win. Haha. Oh, is that Kenneth? Kenneth Suvorbo?
Wait,
Cat
so
Who Walks
Kenneth is
99?
watching.
Wait, Kenneth, are you Cat Who Walks?
Kenneth.
Cat Who Walks 99, tell us your real name, and then you win.
Tell us your
Dox
Facebook
yourself.
Dox
name.
yourself.
No.
Give us your
Typing.
address.
Typing.
What is with the screen keeps flashing?
Yannick Matt.
know.
Yannick
Oh,
Matt.
you're Yannick Matt. You know what? Let's just give it to Yannick Matt.
Let's give it to Yannick Matt.
He's here. No one else
The
is.
most fair and democratic way.
That's
I
the
like
way
it.
we do it on
We'll
the
roll
Invictus
3
stream.
dice and decide in the end that we just want to choose.
Yannick Matt, you and XP.
Thanks, everyone, for playing. And thank you to rom.wsk. Oh, no, that's 23 hours ago. Thank you to Ethan Norris, who joined me on Instagram today.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram for your chance to win Instagram.
Nice.
You like that? I'm sick, so I have a free pass.
Shall we jump back in?
Let's do it.
So, Locke, you are sitting outside of the compound where the penthouses are, the place where you know that Garland Huxley and Sorrow live, when you see 2 figures that strike you as familiar. Locke, Ruth, you spy... Hex and Ruth, you spy Locke sitting by himself, trying to look inconspicuous.
Does Locke see us yet?
He's caught sight of you. He's not sure if you are who he thinks you are.
I'm going to hold up 2 fingers and then duck into an alley with Ruth, because we don't want people to know that we're alive yet.
Locke is hit with an unexpected shot of surprise, unexpected surprise, and exhilaration and excitement and all of these powerful, wonderful feelings. And before he knows it, when he comes to, he's halfway across the street, already moving into the alley. And Hood still over his dreadlocks, he steps into the alley and says, "What sort of trick is this?"
Ain't no trick,
trick.
friend. So go ahead, Ruth. Sorry, we talked at the same time. Ruth.
It's no trick.
Oh, shit.
I'm not dead.
It all worked. It all worked out. And he's going to, actually, I'm going to get back in the accent. That's what he sounds like. He's going to run up to Ruth and give Ruth a big hug. He's just going to wrap his arms around her, squeeze the life out of her, but not all of it.
And she's dead again.
And you take 3 harm.
And oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I thought when I was leaving you that I was leaving you for death, but no, you survived. You survived somehow, and I don't know how you did it. You look fantastic. How did you do it, Ruth? How did you heal Hex? Did you?
I died.
No, but obviously not. You're healed right now, Ruth. It's not
Hex
obviously.
disconnected Grundle, hooked me up to the machines, somehow brought me back. But I've been to the other side.
Wait, you're telling me that he did this?
That's right. I'm the hero that we all knew I could be.
Well, that's not what the crowds are saying. Crowds have been telling me that I'm the hero.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, we were covering each other's back in that field. But it doesn't matter. We're back now. Ruth is alive. I'm alive. And Locke, we got a plan that's going to go gangbusters.
Well, it's good to see you, X. And I might have some information that might be helpful to... Wait, you said that you unhooked Grendel?
Yeah, he was a casualty of war. In order to get Ruth back, I had to plug in the spurs that were keeping him alive into her body and shoot her full of the energy that we were saving for Grundle, so...
Oh,
No
so then
can do.
Grendel's dead.
Yeah. But Ruth had an awakening. We're on a bigger plane now. And our goal is little more fun than just getting a stash.
Well, I'm all about fun. What's your plan, Ruth?
So, I've been doing a little bit of scouting as well. The idea here is that we need to get into the chroniclers to disable the bomb callers. Mm-hmm. And the way to do that is to get to Garland Huxley. And the way to do that is to get to Sorrow. And the way to do that is your help.
I have a fight scheduled with Sorrow.
Here's what we've been thinking. If we can convince Sorrow, because she being the reigning champion can sort of meet with Garland Huxley anytime she wants. If we can get her on our side and get into Garland Huxley's penthouse, then we tie him up and convince him to bring us to the chroniclers. Once we get in there, all we have to do is find the control room to disable the bomb callers and big bang back zooey. Everyone's free, including yourself. Then it's time to overthrow this bitch, right, Ruth?
Yeah. We're going to make a better world.
I could defeat Sorrow, and then I'd be the reigning champion, and then we'd have access to all the same things.
Yeah, either you or Sorrow. But put it this way, whoever is on top gets to meet with Garland Huxley, and we need Garland Huxley alive to get us invited into the Chroniclers. If we kill him, no can do. And we cannot get into the Chroniclers on our own accord. Believe you me, I have looked. The only way in is if we are personally invited by Garland Huxley to meet them face to face. So we need him on our side. So if you want to kill Sorrow, hey, I'm all for it. Otherwise, we can try to convince her.
Seems like a shame to waste the sister of the other people who could be our allies. We're not trying to... I don't want anyone else to die. Somebody will have to, but God, it would be nice to find a more sensible way. I'm sure if we got a chance to talk to Sorrow, she would be on board with this.
You sure about that? Those penthouses look pretty nice from here. I don't know if there's anywhere else in the wasteland that provides that kind of living.
At the very least, I can get her to talk to us.
You can't look at that much suffering and decide that you're happy. We can do better. Sorrow can do better.
You might have to convince her of that.
Look, you know her better than anybody. You've at least rubbed shoulders with her. I can get her anywhere we want her, but you need to figure out a way that we can convince her or fight her to get to this way of thinking.
I haven't rubbed shoulders with her. I haven't even seen her. Mind you, that's what I'm doing here. I'm watching those gates there. See if I can spot her coming out. Maybe have a dialogue. I don't even know what I was going to say.
I have leveled up because I rolled plus weird and plus hard, which were both my asterisk things.
Nice.
So I took a new move. So now my new Skinner move is called Lost, which is kind of cool. When you whisper someone's name to the world psychic maelstrom, roll plus weird. On a hit, they come to you, with or without any clear explanation why. On a 10 plus, they take plus 1 forward against them. On a miss, the master of ceremonies will ask you 3 questions, answer them truthfully. So that's the mechanics. But I sort of look at you and say, look, if we need her, we can get her to come to us. Just so we know.
We've got a telephone.
Something like that.
How about Shagusa and Mox? Are they alive? Have either of you seen them?
Yeah, I have.
You've seen Shagusa. You haven't seen Mox. Shagusa seems to be employed, quote unquote, as a slave or servant girl to some higher ups in the Chroniclers.
Right.
She runs errands sometimes.
But we haven't actually interacted.
No, and this puts a really great question to bear. Ruth, are you still an angel?
Yeah. She is still an angel. She is still. She's come back from the dead a little bit weirder, and the longer we've gone on, the more like Luke towards the end of Star Wars, where he starts to get a little weird and wears robes. I'm getting that vibe.
So you still need, or you are owed by your background, assistance and an ambulance.
Well, I mean, we're whatever happens in the fiction happens in the fiction. So we're still, if that ambulance is busted in the graveyard, that's where it sits for the moment. That's okay, and we can see whether or not we've got assistance to help or not when we get there.
Sure. Okay. As long as you're cool with that being a little bit flexible. Right?
No, I'm not worried about them. In the same way that I imagine I probably don't still have my shotgun that got taken away when I fell into the pit of graveyard doom.
Yeah, but Hex has been around town long enough, working his Skinner magic, that I would say you have a comparable shotgun. Maybe not the same one that you had.
I think you'd have your weapon back. Like, I don't have Elvira. She's disassembled as well, but I still have my weapon.
Yeah, so I mean, if we're sort of camped out of the Smiley, my ambulance in the graveyard, anyways, we can keep that as our home base for the moment, and we'll staff it as we go.
Are you gonna call Sorrow out from the maelstrom?
No, I mean, I want to get a feel for what these guys think. I mean, Locke is so right. Look, the goal here is to get into Garland Huxley's suite. We need to be invited there. We can't force our way in. I can't call Garland out and follow him back in because it's only going to last so long. We need to ride that elevator up by invitation. If that's through Sorrow for yourself, that's your call, Locke.
Well, I'm just saying that Locke might not have the same motivations as we might think. She might be motivated by something else now.
Locke might be, or...
Oh no, Sorrow.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, okay, I'm going to roll against that then to find out what his motivations
It was very cute, yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to read a person.
Sure.
I do want to know where Locke's head is. I mean, he did leave us to die. I am sort of going on the assumption that he cares about us, and it was just sort of forcing his hand. But maybe he likes this new life more than we are giving him credit for.
Yeah, that's very fair. You'd want to know that for sure.
So I'm rolling plus sharp. My sharp is +1. Oh yeah, 12.
You got it?
Mm-hmm.
So you get to read a person against Locke.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, what is your character feeling? What does your character intend to do?
I mean, you can just ask those questions as you guys continue to have an interaction.
Necessarily let's just instead, why don't you just tell us how Locke feels about us coming back and all that kind of stuff?
All right, well, Locke is feeling relieved. He actually was feeling an uncharacteristic, more than a pang, but he was definitely feeling some guilt about leaving you. But he also recognized that if he had alerted you and alerted the chroniclers that you were alive, then you would have been goners for sure, because it had already been established that Locke has been the victor. And so you get the impression from Locke being there now, he's a bit nervous, but that nervousness comes from these are my friends, they might perceive me as being letting them down, but I did everything I could to survive and help them to survive. And by the looks of it, their collars are off. So that's a relief.
I mean, that's enough for me to feel comfortable with him again. So I still would put... It seems like Locke, and I'll say this out loud. Locke, it seems like you want to kill Sorrow. And Ruth, you obviously want to keep her alive. The question is, can we convince Sorrow to help us or not? Look, at the very least, why don't Ruth or myself go talk to her?
It's not that I want to kill Sorrow, but that I believe I can kill Sorrow, and that might be actually easier than trying to talk to her and convincing her of something that if she finds out that you guys are here, still alive, not wearing your collars, and she's not easily convinced, then that could be an issue.
Ruth tilts her head as if she's almost listening to something entirely else than this conversation, and puts her hand on Locke's arm and says, the two of you, one way or the other, will do what's best for Sorrow. Make a deal with her, kill her. You'll figure it out. I'm needed somewhere else. But I trust you, and I'm glad that you missed us.
She's been like that since she woke up. I don't know.
No, right.
Ruth starts wandering down the alley, so heading somewhere else.
She's been really fucking weird since she woke up. All right, look, let's get Sorrow here with the three of us, and let's try to talk to her. And if things go south, kill her here in the alleyway. Doesn't have to be in front of people.
You mean two of us? Ruth is gone.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming Ruth is like sort of like Luna Lovegood walking around. Oh, like with
No,
a
she
purpose. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say that's up to you and me, I guess.
All
Where's
right.
Ruth
Well,
going?
you call her.
Yeah, let's find out.
Let's follow the camera
Ruth,
with her.
where do
I'm
you
curious.
go?
I'm going to find Chigusa.
Ooh, okay. How do you find her?
Well, I'd heard slave to a noble somewhere, so I'm generally heading towards following my impressions of where it might be richer or more powerful. But maybe I'll just open my brain to the world's psychic maelstrom and listen real hard for where Chigusa's at.
That's a good way to do it.
I mean, it's a way, and Ruth is a lot weirder now. How much weirder? We're gonna find out. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got a 9.
Okay. You find her brain amongst the jabbering and the babbling that crests the wave of the maelstrom and comes pounding into your brain. It's felt to you lately like the maelstrom is an ocean, that it is water, that it is part of every living thing and requisite for living, but only maybe noticeable by people who are looking, by people who know. You hear her brain. She's maybe 3 blocks away. She's indoors right now, and you have an image of her. She is she's sleeping right now, and she looks so peaceful. She has a bruise on the side of her face, and her hair is clung together in cords, sweat dampened from sleep. She seems restful, and there's someone beside her, and that's all. You know where she is, and you know that she's resting.
I'm gonna keep walking towards that place, and if it sort of gets the sense that there is a front and or a back way into it, like she's trying to take a way that most people wouldn't.
Sorry, hold on. Your video is
Oh,
so
no.
weird right now.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys see
The
this?
psychic maelstrom is getting in here.
I can see that.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It looks really weird.
Wow.
Oh no.
I'm gonna refresh it. Hold on. It's like it looks like a VHS tape.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
The ring
Actually.
is caught up with us.
Yes. Oh, it's getting weirder.
Oh wow. It's not.
Wow.
Rob, come back to us.
It did this for Joe earlier too.
It's been very glitchy tonight. I've noticed it's been blinking a lot. But this is like some weird VHS level shit.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of
Wow.
perfect. Just keep playing weird for a second.
All right then. Ruth is going to approach wherever Chigusa is at from the side that's got less eyes on it, from the side that's more private and less public. If she's got to climb a fence to get there or do something to come around the back side to the back window, she's coming in from the angle nobody suspects.
Wonderful.
It's
hard
getting
to
weirder.
Oh, it's so perfect.
It's getting so much
Incredible.
weirder.
Wow. It's just messing everything up.
There's it's like an old bodega with an apartment up top, and so
All right, maybe exit and come back in.
yeah, we'll
Okay, I can
talk
do
about
that.
this in a second.
It's really weird.
Wow.
Oh, now we're all funky. There we go.
Are we funky? Oh,
That was cool. That was cool. That was
Hey,
a
there he is.
difficult to duplicate effect.
How are we doing now?
Yeah, you're great. It was almost Cthulhu-esque the way it was weird.
It was. Remind me of that.
Someone's hacking the Invictus stream. Finally.
Oh no! They're gonna get all of our
Finally, we've been waiting
all
for
of our
this
content,
day.
all of our
highly,
amazing quality content.
Can't steal our likes.
Downloaded all of Harlan's accents.
They down-dicked them.
So there's a bodega that has like 40 bicycle the like bodies of bicycles that are all chained together and stacked together, and they're like pushed up against the front glass of this bodega to sort of create like a wall for security measures. And you can tell that she's upstairs. There's an apartment up there. So you go around the back.
Yeah. And even if she's got to climb up the back or something to get in the back way to just a room, no one expects her to enter that room. That's just the way that like she feels drawn.
Yeah. There's some strange garden out back where this wild kind of creeper vine has taken over everything. And as you kind of wade through chest-high leaves, you see that there is a window open. You're going to have to scale the building.
We'll happily scale the building.
So,
Yeah, she'll put her feet on the vines and sort of almost close her eyes.
is it happening to me? I don't see
Oh,
it.
it's happening to you now.
It's happening to Joe
And Justin.
And Justin.
Me
I
too?
See Justin.
Yeah.
Does it happen to me?
Yeah, I see Justin.
Wow, creepy.
Oh my
We're
god,
being
yours is
hacked.
even crazier, Joe.
I want to see.
Wow. You got wild.
I think this might be do something under fire.
Sure. Yeah. 5, 6, 7. So I do it, but flinch, hesitate, or stall.
Okay. You. Oh wow, interesting. Sorry, I'm just listening.
And Justin's is totally fucked too.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
For me, it's just Joe right now.
It's hilarious. Rob, you can see these, right?
Oh, I can see them. They're not okay.
That's what
Kinda
yours is doing
fascinating,
too. It's really weird, actually. I'm fascinated by these glitches.
Spooky
How does it
glitch.
happen? Is
I
because
don't-
we were talking about the ring?
Maybe.
I mean, we did bring this upon ourselves.
It's really interesting. I've never seen glitches like this.
Yeah, Justin's screen is moving back
Yeah, you're
and
like it's like
forth
dancing. I
in
gotta
like
film
a vertical blind
Weird.
movement, but sort of diagonally. And
That's
it's like
really cool.
tick 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 tick, like this constant.
There, I just filmed it. I'm gonna send it.
yeah.
Oh, there, now it's good.
How?
Ruby?
Spite, probably.
Mine's not. Oh,
Hey,
Hey, Joe's is good
both of
too.
you came back.
Hey.
Amazing. We survived.
Must have
Welcome
been some sort of
back.
servers. Oh yeah, wow, mine was grooving.
Yours is weird. Everyone's is so weird. I love it.
I hope everyone enjoyed that.
We should have been playing a spooky
Yeah.
game,
This
man.
is psychic.
I mean, I'm
Maelstrom.
spooked.
Yeah, View Scream or something.
View Scream. Let's redo View Scream this year.
right now when the glitches come back.
Ah, so fun.
All right.
Okay, so you do it. It's a success, and you flinch, hesitate, or stall. A worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. Ruth, you climb the side of this building and you get yourself halfway in this open window. And that's when you hear voices downstairs. You hear people come out of the building. They've heard you climbing, and it looks like they're searching for you.
But I'm sort of perched on the windowsill.
You are like, your arms and shoulders inside grasping the ledge, and your body is hanging out.
Perfect. So I can see Shigusa and I can see whoever's in the bed next to her.
Yeah, it's
What do they look
there's
like?
a dirty mattress on the floor. The other person who's in the bed with Shigusa is another woman, a little bit younger than her, and they seem to just be resting.
Interesting. I will speak out to them then, and just say, Shigusa, it's time to go.
She opens her eyes at first in a panic. One of them is shot through with blood. The sclera is all red. And then she recognizes you. Oh, Ruth. Oh. I thought you were dead.
I was.
Ruth, this is amazing. Come in quickly.
I'll climb the rest of the way in the window. They've noticed me. Others will be here soon.
All of the color drains from her face as she sits up and grasps the thin sheet around her. You were seen?
Is she wearing a collar?
No.
No?
It's like it's not the same kind that you had on.
Okay.
When you saw her in the stands, she was wearing a collar that attached her hands to her neck, so that her movement was impeded. But she does not have that on right now.
What have they? They've hurt you.
Zeph, wake up. And the girl stirs beside her. Yes, but I'm okay. I'm okay, Ruth. You're not going to be if they find you. They'll kill you.
I've already died.
Yeah. Have you seen Shigusa? I mean, have you seen Mox?
Have you? I have not.
No, I haven't seen him since we were taken. Well,
Are you really okay? You would rather this?
then what? Where's Locke? Is he with you? I'm confused. Hex?
We're going to make... They're both alive. We're going to make this place better. If you're safe for now, I should go.
Yes, and you see, no, you hear voices outside in the garden. Maybe 4 people talking to each other in low voices.
I just needed to know you were okay.
I'm okay. I mean, it's not as good as being your assistant, but it's better than a lot of people have it here. I mean, I'm young and you're gonna change things.
When she asked me that, my attention just moves to this woman in the bed beside her, Zeph. What is it clear what she's like? What's her take on this, or has she done anything other than wake up?
Zeph has woken up and she presses herself back against the wall, and sort of crawls behind Shigusa a little bit, sort of to get out of your eyesight.
I'm sorry if I've put you both in danger. I didn't mean to. And I'm gonna walk through the room and leave out the front door.
Okay. I want you to do something under fire, which is sneak through this building without attracting any more attention than you already have.
4, 5, 6, 7 ish.
You can move through the house undetected, but you know that you're speaking in Shigusa's room will have been noticed, if that makes sense.
If there was a way for them to catch me but not implicate Shigusa, that would be the one Ruth angles toward.
I'm saying the opposite is possible.
Yeah, okay. And if that's just what happens, is the opposite, is I know I've put them in danger, I can't help it, that's fine. I will leave knowing I've made it worse.
Yeah, you leave and you hear Shigusa scream.
Oh, fuck. I gotta go back then. Yeah, I gotta go back if it sounds like there's violence happening that way. I think I gotta go back to that room.
You go back?
Yeah. If the screaming sounds like, I don't know what it sounds. It sounds like, can I read a sitch actually?
Yeah, you can.
Maybe that's what I want to do. It sounds bad over there. 4 or 5. So I got a 10 on read a sitch. I want to know who's really in control here.
The master of the house is a man who you would have caught brief glimpses of as you walk through this dwelling. Trades in supplies. There are a couple of cartons of high quality goods, things that people have a hard time getting their hands on, cigarettes, the like. He's in control here.
Do I know their name or?
Yeah, his name is Lorna. No, his name is 1-800-Thomas.
I love 1-800-Thomas.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I'm going to walk back up those stairs, keeping a good eye out for what's going on.
You walk up the stairs and there's a shadowy figure at the top of it. He's got a rifle.
Yeah, I think as I'm walking up towards it, I'm marking what's my best escape route for when this all goes bad and I need to get out. I want to know where I'm going to head out to.
Probably not safe for you to jump out the window.
Fair.
You would take some serious fall damage. If the way's clear, you could go back out through the way that you just entered.
Okay. So I'm going to keep my eyes out, but maybe I'm going to interact a little further here as I...
Yeah, the guy brandishes his pistol at you and says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Do I think this is Thomas or is this someone else?
This is probably hired help.
Okay.
He's got like this aggressive biker vest on with some potentially just like jewelry, but maybe utility chains wrapped around his chest in an X shape. And he's brandishing this pistol at you from the top of the stairs. Get the fuck out of here.
So I also took a new move the last time we were.
No.
Yeah.
What'd you take?
And that move is called Unnatural Lust Transfixion.
What?
And it lets me seduce or manipulate with weird.
Oh.
And so I'm going to look at this person in the eyes.
Yeah.
Coming up the stairs.
His name is Scop.
Scop, I am an angel returned from the dead, here to make this place better. Your life will be better. Everyone's life will be better if you point that gun at 1-800-Thomas instead of me. If you choose hope instead of fear and violence right now, if you help me help those women in there, your life will be better. I promise you it will be better than it is now, than its trajectory is leading now. Trust me, help me. Don't bring violence here. And that's my reason. I want them to help me stop 1-800-Thomas. That's what I want them to do. I want to roll plus weird. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because I know 1-800-Thomas is the master of the house and he's the biggest badass, and I had my read a sitch. So 7 to seduce or manipulate.
What happens?
They'll go along with me, but I need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first.
Okay. You see his look of manufactured aggression waver in his face in this dim stairwell, and he drops the gun a fraction of an inch. He says, "What the fuck do you mean? Who are you?"
I will take off my jacket to show all the wounds that prove that I actually have been dead.
You're that fucking fighter. I saw that. You fucking died.
I've come back to make the world better. Scott, help make the world a better place.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this?
Open the door and tell Thomas to back off.
Okay, but you leave me the fuck alone. And he walks down the hallway and opens the door and he says, "Some bitch is back from the dead and she wants to see you, boss." And then he walks away. This skinny older man in a knit cardigan walks out. He looks like maybe old school Filipino. He's got his receding hairline kind of slicked back in a neat and tidy cut. This cleanliness is not something that you see regularly. He's got both of his hands in his pockets. He just looks at you at the bottom of the stairwell. He says, "Were you up here with the girls?"
Thomas.
Please.
It's a new...
Please. It's 1-800-THOMAS.
1-800-Thomas. Today marks a new beginning. Today, we're no longer in the end. We're starting to move towards something new.
No. 'Cause this right here, this is working for me.
The dead have come alive again? Twice?
You're just some crazy bitch who thinks she could come in the back window and scare my ladies. I don't like that. And now, you're talking up Scop here? Putting the fear in his heart? Don't like that either.
I want to read his mind if I can.
Okay.
I got
Yeah,
some
you can do that
casual
from a
brain
distance,
receptivity.
can't you?
Yeah, I don't even have to talk to him. I just want to understand what's going on in his head. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So read a person on I got to hold one. How could I get 1-800-Thomas to believe that we are that his assumptions about the way the world works are wrong and something new is here, a change is about to happen? How could I get him to believe that?
You see wealth and possessions. You see a locked storage room full of things that will keep 1-800-Thomas safe. You see filthy lucre. This is what he bases his life around. This is all he cares about. And in order to shake him from that goal, you would have to prove to him that his contacts are worthless and that his holdings are bankrupt. That the whole system would have to fall before he would give a shit about whether some random person seemed to die and come back from the dead.
1-800-Thomas, you won't believe me now, but you will mark my words. You will be the strongest among my followers, the strongest among those who believe in this new future when you find the storerooms are empty and all the riches of the world that you think prop you up here will abandon you. But I won't. Because I know we're going somewhere. I'm just going to turn around and walk away. Show my back to him.
Yeah, you get the fuck out. You get out of here. And you, stop! You hear him turn to his man and, like, give him a verbal dressing down as you leave. Can't believe you fucking pussy. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm going to find Hex and Locke.
Hex and Locke, what have you guys been up to?
And that's the plan. I guess maybe we would have done the Sorrow thing.
Let's do it.
Right. We would.
While he was doing that, I mean, I guess it only takes two of us anyway.
I don't know how long it takes you to channel, though. I just would sit. What does that look like when you're actually channeling and accessing the maelstrom?
I just go like this. Sorrow. Just gotta whisper it down.
You gotta roll for me, babe. Right?
I'm rolling plus weird, I think.
I don't remember. It's your character.
Yeah. Roll plus viad.
Roll it.
5 minus 2. 3.
Oh.
So on a miss, the Master of Ceremonies will ask you 3 questions. Answer them truthfully.
Is there a suggestion?
Sorry?
No
Okay.
suggestions.
How are you planning to get Sorrow to do what you want her to do?
I think explaining to her that we were sent by her sister, that freedom exists, that she can keep her position, but not have to have a bomb collar strapped around her neck, is all the motivation she really needs to side with us. My logic is, even if she loves this life, if she loves being the champion, she could still do that, and possibly more, just without having to worry about the chroniclers being in control.
I get to ask you 3 questions.
Yeah.
What would it take for Hex to abandon his friends?
Probably what's on Grundle's mind, and it being everything he ever wanted, enough money and wealth to abandon his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good question. Because even if he knew the money, he'd probably be like, "Oh, we can share it." An offer. Yeah, probably just like a better offer, a really convincing offer. No one's come to him and been like, "Hey, if you abandon your 2 friends, you'll get." Because kind of everything in the apocalypse sucks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like a good enough offer. I'll say that. Because honestly, I can't think. I'll think of a better answer if you'd like, but I can't think right now.
Hex and Locke. Well, they won't, they?
They won't.
Okay.
Sorry. Justin and Harlan, they will. But Locke and Hex, they won't.
Pardon me.
I'm trying to think of what the heck would get Hex
Right?
to turn on. It's a great question. And there is definitely stuff.
I want to know if I can exploit it, because that's what
Totally.
the Master of Ceremonies
I'm
gets
trying to let you... Oh, you know what? I think if Hex knew he was... If he was put in a position where the right thing was still being a bad person, he would probably separate himself because he knew he would be...
Which is almost kind of what Locke did, right? Leave
Yeah.
your friends dying in the dust because you think that they're dead.
Yeah.
And, you can't do anything for them anyway.
Well, there's your answer. Literally exactly what happened to Locke. Hex would have done the same thing. So, but then again, Locke also came back. So it's like the same, it's the same exact. But that's a great question. You should get, I'm going to give you XP for asking.
Thanks.
Really great question.
What happens now? You try to summon
we fail.
Sorrow,
I'm like,
and she does not appear.
Maybe I didn't do it right. Where does she usually hang out? Maybe we can just meet her.
Well, she usually is in a penthouse or
That's
in the garage.
thing. Yeah, she doesn't.
Let's go
she's
check the
not
garage.
Seen
The garage.
around too often.
I assume she'd be at the garage, but getting into that derby arena.
Anything out here she cares about, maybe if we fuck with it or tinker it, she'll come out.
Her derby racer.
Perfect. I
The
can manipulate
garage.
into
Is
that.
that where she keeps her vehicle?
In the garage?
Yeah, that's where she keeps her vehicle.
Yeah.
One of the things that makes Sorrow so great isn't necessarily her ability as a driver, but her ability as a mechanic to make a vehicle just that much better.
Well, I can
And,
definitely get us into the garage, put it that way. That's where my charm comes in. And we head off towards the garage.
If your charm can't handle it, flex my muscles.
Manipulation is the one thing I'm good at.
It's a charm off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a charm off.
So I'm going to go over to the garage
Okay.
and enter. And if someone's in the way, I'm going to manipulate them.
Lock and Hex go to the garage. What does the garage look like?
Oh, the garage rather,
Sorry.
is a very kind of slanted building that looks like an actual kind of like an apartment building. It's kind of like fallen over, and it's kind of
That's
leaning
cool.
on its side. And then there's this big sign that has a slanted triangle that goes the other way that says cars on it. And yeah, the garage opens on an angle. There's several garage doors. Oh, that's difficult to say several times.
Garage.
Yeah, and one of them's big enough for a lorry to fit through. I just wanted to say the word lorry. Yeah, there's a couple larger openings, and then some of them are just crumpled in. So it's a mix of flashy, flared neon excitement, and then also just decrepit, crumpled building.
Sick. There's a woman named Ursa with a double platinum mohawk in like old school garage coveralls. And a huge oversized spanner in one hand that's standing out in the front. And she eyes the two of you warily as you approach.
Does she try to stop us?
What do you do?
We enter the garage.
She's like, hey. Who
What?
are you?
Who
are
are
you?
we? Do you not recognize him? This is Locke.
Oh, yeah. What you doing here?
Getting ready for the
For the what?
racing portion of his championship.
There's no race scheduled.
Combat, whatever. I'm going
Okay.
in here to show him the vehicles that he's going to have options to choose
And to
from.
you,
What?
who are you?
Hex, who the fuck are you?
My name's Ursa.
Who?
Ursa?
And what are you doing here?
I'm working.
Well, good. And I start heading towards the garage.
Fuck off. All right, Locke, you can go in.
Excuse me?
Hey,
And I turn towards her and I say, I'm the one showing him the vehicles. Why don't you step out of our way?
You're the one who's going to be licking my shoes in a moment.
Hold on. I wanted to like lie to her and stuff like that.
Okay,
It's
lie to
all
her
well.
and stuff.
I'm going to roll lie to her.
this is going real well. Locke is watching. If he had a bag of popcorn, he'd be eating it.
11.
Okay, what happens?
Yeah, she goes along with me.
Well, so do it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have gotten that hostile. I would have just lied to her. I would have told her that first thing, and then she would have been like, okay.
Why didn't you say so?
I fucking did, lady.
You think I'm fucking deaf?
Apparently.
Just get out of my sight.
And I walk in. A lot of hostile people around here, Locke.
Oh, it's the apocalypse. What do you expect?
Where did she keep her racer?
I believe it's
Lights
Down
go
this
on
way.
in like in sections
Yeah.
all along the length of this garage.
some like synth music playing.
Yeah. What
There
do
is
we
a
see?
there is a radio playing. There's a
Oh yeah.
cassette player.
Yeah, there's no radio stations going anymore, but there's
No.
a couple of boom boxes with old. There's like it's like Blondie or something.
Right. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, we see these like massive junk heaps crammed up all along the sides of this garage. The choicest bits that have been pulled off. You actually see like the lights that were scavenged from the ambulance. They're just hanging out waiting to be
perfect.
incorporated into some monstrosity. A couple of
great.
half-built.
Is there anything we can take from the ambulance that's small to maybe get Ruth to remember, like maybe something that was meaningful to her? Like I go over and sort of just run my fingers along, like the little hula girl from the dashboard.
Yeah, I mean, the skeleton of the ambulance is still in the junkyard because
Yeah.
that wasn't really salvageable
But I mean, any
stuff.
of the stuff that.
Yeah,
was in-
you find. What would you like?
I would like something.
There's like fuzzy dice or something.
Yeah, emotionally memorable.
Ruth, what was the most
I
emotionally
think Ruth probably just told
memorable
us.
part of your?
Oh no, he said be right back.
Yeah, I mean I guess I'm emotionally memorable part. Ruth probably has like, it's the tools and things that are in there that really mean, like there's probably a stethoscope in there that she's had forever. That's maybe too busted up and broken to still use, but is still like hung there as if it was ready to go because she can't bring herself to throw it away.
I want to give her something. I want to take something that's a bit of a memory, less than a tool. Something that was like maybe something.
And give it to
Ruth.
You can find something that is similar to something that you had left behind at the clinic. How's that?
Yeah.
In and among the junk, you find some wheel casting or some piece of machinery that you.
Or even if there was like I'm imagining, like, even if there was like a fluorescent light or something on the wall, or something that Ruth didn't know she was missing from back then, like something that would have been innocuous in this thrown together building. She didn't even know that she's left it behind her, that she would be missing it, because it would never have dawned on her. But if she saw it again, would be
Hold
like,
on. Is Ruth with us?
no.
Yeah.
I actually really love that. I love the idea of Ruth was always waiting to try to find an intact fluorescent bulb because there was a fixture at the clinic and you had your eyes out for it for like the past 2 years, and Hex knew that. And you find one here in this garage, and even though you were so far away from the clinic, like you could give her this bulb and be like, I found one.
Sure. Okay. I'll take that then. And as we keep moving towards the Blondie music, I'm assuming Sorrow's the one playing it. I turn to Locke. So, I'm thinking, let's try this the manipulative way, the talking way, and if that fails, the shoot way?
Yeah, well, the shoot way, what's that gonna get us?
You'd be the champion.
No, and not if it's not in real combat.
Right. Okay. So, worst case scenario, we'll just lay off and face her tomorrow in the pit, or whenever your big fight is.
Yeah, we'll say it's tomorrow. There are like big posters up around town of like paintings of the two of your faces in an angry snarl in profile, facing each other.
MMA fight.
Painted in blood.
Yeah.
Blood and
It's
white.
a lot of blood.
paint.
So many fires.
Yeah, just a ton of blood. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
let's here's hoping it actually works out with your talking, because the things could get pretty hairy if we don't actually convince
Well, I'm
her.
going to present it to her in a way that... What was her sister's name again?
Alberta.
Alberta, right, okay.
Yeah, you see down near the end of the garage a woman who looks about the same height as Alberta, if you remember correctly. It's been a while. She's welding. She's got her face mask down. She's got welding arc thing. Here ends my knowledge of welding. There's like this sick hot rod type body of a car that she's welding these huge metal spikes all along like the rim of where the tires are, and there's like a big metal, almost like a cow catcher attached to the front of the car.
Whoa.
Like the hood is off. It's got this massive engine that's just projecting out of the top of the car, and the roof's torn off. She's welding this fucking monster machine.
That's awesome. And I say, Sorrow?
And the blondie is playing too loudly. She doesn't notice you're approaching.
I don't want to stop music. I'd be so angry at that. I'm gonna start singing along.
What? You know that song?
What's a Blondie song?
I was just thinking that.
I'm gonna start singing. I'm gonna do it.
That's Blondie, right?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna like da 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 da, and I'm gonna be artful and graceful. I'm gonna perform my. It's not my chosen art, but it's like adjacent.
This is art you are choosing.
Yeah. Any act or expression of culture, when you put the product before an audience, roll plus hot. So I'm gonna do like a dance. Da, 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 da,
I love this. There's like a little bit of like smoke just along the bottom of the floor, and we get this really cool shot of like Locke in silhouette walking behind you, maybe 20 feet back.
That's funny.
And then Hex is like kicking up his heels and like doing
and then
little
I'm thinking
flourishes.
It's gonna go all Grease Lightning. As the song picks up, he's gonna like jump on the hood of the car. It's gonna be like a choreographed dance. Like the whole thing is gonna be this big production.
She like leans back after she stands up with a snap, leans back against this like pile of junk, and like flips the helmet up to watch you. Her torch is still going.
And then I don't know how the song ends, but like I'm gonna be like dancing closer to her, da da da, and then when it ends, I'm just gonna be like, and blow the flame out on her
I
torch
like that.
in like a really sexy way, and
Very
I'm gonna roll.
cool. Good scene.
Let's see if it actually succeeds though. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Not bad.
Yeah. Spend one, name an NPC of your audience, and choose two. Okay. Oh, so I can have this person meet me. This person must have my services. This person loves me. This person must give me a gift, or this person admires my patron. So, I mean, must have my services? What does that mean? This person loves me. This person must give me a gift. I think maybe this person loves me. What would be the most useful? Meet me. I mean, we're already meeting them. Has my services, loves me, gives me a gift, admires my patron. Probably loves me. I feel like loves me means that she would do things.
Perhaps.
I don't know. What do you think, Locke? Meet me, have my services, loves me, gives me a gift, admires my patron. I don't know what admires my patron means.
Who are you acting in the service of?
Right.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not.
I feel like admires your patron. I mean, her sister might be good.
She naturally would admire her sister, probably.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Could we
I
argue
wouldn't know
that
that.
Locke is your patron?
Maybe, but I feel like it'd be. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay,
Right.
maybe admires my patron and have Locke be the patron.
Being
Sure.
that you're
I'm good with
here
that.
dancing around on Locke's behalf.
So then I blow it out. I think the love thing works better for what I just did, but I think it makes more sense to the patron. So as like blow it out, and she's still sort of awestruck a little bit, I like turn the wheel on it so the gas stops leaking out on my
She
face.
says, "What have we here?"
Just a herald of the great Locke. However, we're here for a few other reasons, mainly one by the name of Alberta,
Alberta.
your sister.
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
Did you like my dance?
Yes.
I just wanted to hear feedback. Appreciate it. Alberta and her husband were two people that we came across in the wastes on the way here. She asked us to check on you, see how you were doing, and hopefully get you out of this place. How are you doing?
I mean, I'm only the most important civilian here. So I'm doing pretty well for myself. I mean, yes, I appreciate that Fleck and Alberta want me to come back and join them in the oil fields, but it turns out that murder for sport is kind of my thing.
I'm going to read a person.
Okay.
I'm thinking now that she admires you, Locke. The answer to our problem might just be that we get her to get you to introduce her to Garland Huxley. Like, maybe we don't need to convince her of our plan. Maybe we just need to ask her to have you get introduced to Garland Huxley, which I think makes more sense because she seems pretty happy here. So that's 11.
Ooh.
on
What are
read
you
a
rolling?
person.
Read a person. So you get
So
what?
yeah, I guess, is she telling the truth
Yeah.
about liking this? What does the character wish I would do?
She wishes you would stick around. She finds you a little bit entertaining. That was a nice dance. Things get a little bit, well, I don't want to give too much away.
And how could I get your character to introduce us to Garland Huxley? Kind of an easy question. It's like handing it for you.
How could you get Sorrow to introduce him to Garland Huxley? Great question. So, I don't understand. I saw the fight between the two of you. You died. I mean, you're not wearing a collar anymore. I mean, Locke, it's nice to finally officially meet you. I didn't expect to be dropped in on here. A little bit rude, but that's fine. What happened?
I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a mystery.
She wants her freedom too.
She does.
Deep down.
Okay, so that's how we could get her to introduce us to Garland
You
Huxley.
see her eyes linger for a minute longer on your neck. And she walks a circle around you, Locke, and she says, "You're quite the specimen. It's going to be fun tomorrow, hey?"
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to it even more if we can work together, find a way to get these collars off, eh?
Her fingers trace the metal around your neck as she walks from behind you to in front of you, and she stands very close. She says, "The way that you work out on the battlefield, the savagery, the skill. I hope I can measure up. I don't know of a way that these come off. I wish I had seen it. But if we can't figure it out, I'm going to have to kill you."
Well, that is not necessary, and part of the reason why we're here. We have a plan to get these, and I point to both of them, off. Not just for you, not just for Locke, but for everybody. And it all starts with you getting us into Garland Huxley's penthouse.
Let's leave it there.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was
Apocalypse World
Apocalypse World
Part
Session
5!
Wow!
A little bit of some solo scenes. I hope that was okay with everybody.
Yeah,
but
are you
I feel
kidding?
like
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
had their own individual interesting stuff going on.
Yeah, I got my dance. Super happy. Endgame XP, I think, has to go to Carly
Yeah?
for her amazing pun.
What was the pun? I missed it.
She said, when Ruth isn't giving stitches, she's beating bitches. They were talking about how Ruth is being badass, and then Carly said she's ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Endgame
She is
XP goes to
ruthless.
Carly for ruthless. Ruthless Ruth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been a blast. Remember to follow our Dice Shame apps or whatever, Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Get ready to download it when the episodes come out.
We're
going to
need your help October 31st. If you are considering backing us on Patreon, please do. I didn't really have anything in
Yeah,
there,
you
but-
can get some
medicine's
little
wearing off.
morsels in advance.
Yeah, and make sure you like this video, and we'll see you next week for, I think, Session 6
Yeah, I
of the
think we'll do
Apocalypse World.
6.
That is it from us. As my good friend Rob always likes to say,
Get a good night's rest. Sleep is important.
sleep is important. Good night.